Okay, welcome back. This time we're doing Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the Sega Mini. It was only a matter of time before I got to this one. And I love how this game looks in glorious HD. I'm disappointed that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 isn't on the Sega Mini, but that's alright. So what we're going to do is we are going to take it a little slow for the first couple levels. We'll go to a bonus zone. We'll rack up some extra lives. Go to one bonus zone and get one extra continue. One Chaos Emerald. But then after that, we're pretty much just going to plow through the game. Now, Retro Half-Bit, who I've mentioned before, I'm not going to pin his video in the link this time. I'll get around to pinning something else he's done soon. But I'll talk about the pin links in a minute. But I will say that Retro Half-Bit did a really good video on the Sonic the Hedgehog games on the Sega Genesis. And he made one really good point about how the programmers for Sonic the Hedgehog 1, one of the things they did was they put obstacles constantly in your path so that you can't really go fast and build up momentum. But they also made it pretty challenging, considering you only ever need one ring to survive. And even despite that caveat, the game is still challenging at times. Okay, so this is the first bonus zone. Absolutely love the bonus zones in Sonic the Hedgehog 1 compared to the bonus zones in Sonic 2 and 3. Very hypnotic, kind of a lullaby. Got the dolphins and the fish and the albatross or seagulls or whatever animal that is. Alright, we're gonna try and get... Okay, we got 50 rings, so we just picked up a continue. Now we just have to get the emerald. There we go. Alright, so we won't do any more bonus zones because we don't want to slow down this play anymore. We're going to be taking it slow enough for the first few levels anyway. But Chaos Emerald, continue. Now, I've always been a little bit surprised by... Like I said, this is the game I had as the pack-in for my Sega Genesis. So I've always been very nostalgic for it, absolutely loved it. Loved the graphics. Sonic and all the colors and everything just popped in the first game. I always felt that the sequels, everything looked a little bit more flat, but also the music. In Sonic the Hedgehog 1, you can hear every instrument distinctly, if that makes any sense. Where I always thought that the music in the sequels was a little bit more flat. I think I'm in the minority when I make these nitpicks, but that's alright. Visually, I don't think it can be argued. I love the look of the first Sonic the Hedgehog compared to the sequels. But I've always been a little bit surprised that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is actually the one that most retro gamers are familiar with, because I think what happened was when Sonic the Hedgehog, or excuse me, I think in 1993, or maybe even late 1992, Sega of America reduced the price. Oh, I didn't mean to grab the ring. But Sega of America reduced the price of the Sega Genesis bundle, and they packed in Sonic 2 as the game. So as a result, I think, and it was at a reduced price, so I think a lot of, gamers in the 90s, as a result, I think they became more familiar with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And that's fine. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a great game. I just don't think it's as good as Sonic the Hedgehog 1, or even Sonic the Hedgehog 3, if I'm being honest. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, a very underrated game, and really a shame that they didn't put it on the Sega Mini. Now, one game that doesn't get talked about much, even by Sonic the Hedgehog fanatics, is Sonic CD, the Sonic the Hedgehog game on the Sega CD. Admittedly, I had a friend, his name was Andrew, from childhood, and we used to play a lot of games together. He's probably the only person I ever met that had the Sega CD, and he had Sonic CD, and I don't even remember playing it that much. It was confusing. We had a hard time figuring out the bonus areas, like Sonic. This is embarrassing. Sonic made a good future. Like, I never quite understood all that and how it worked. It was an interesting game for sure, though. Okay, 5 more rings ought to get us an extra life. Okay, first Robotnik fight. Yeah, just look at how great these graphics are. Nothing they did in any of the other Sonic the Hedgehog games looked this good. Okay, so what are we going to rant about this time? So, kind of a long game, so it's almost like stories that I'll be telling instead of rants. If it takes a while to get to the point, I apologize. So first I wanted to talk about Sega Tunes, and then I wanted to talk about media play. So Sega Tunes was a line of CDs that Sega produced, I want to say in 1999. I could be wrong. Alright, I don't think you can get 100 rings on this stage, so I'm not even going to really bother. And with Sega Tunes, they hired musicians to reproduce or emulate, I suppose, reimagine music from popular Sega Genesis games. And they did Comix Zone, Vector Man, Sonic the HedgeHog, and Toe Jam and Earl 2 Panic on Funkatron. Pretty interesting lineup of games. So I want to say it was in 2001, maybe, or 2002. I went to my local Media Play, and I was just looking through CDs, and I was in the soundtrack compilation section, a small dedicated section, and they had some of these Sega Tunes albums. And they were pretty cheap also. They were only like $5 or whatever. Now, Toe Jam and Earl Panic on Funkatron, back in 1999. This is a game that I had played with the same childhood friend I had that had the Sega CD. His name was Andrew. He was into really interesting games, which is probably why he was the only one I knew that had the Sega CD. But we had rented Toe Jam and Earl 2 Panic on Funkatron at his insistence. He'd played it before and knew it was a good game. And admittedly, I remember loving that game too when I played it with him. It's certainly a unique game in the Sega Genesis library. Very colorful, very strange. Outstanding soundtrack, even back then. I remember seeing the soundtrack at Media Play and thinking, oh wow, I remember loving this music when I played the game. Very jazz, funk, fusion style soundtrack that sounded good on the old Sega Genesis despite the crummy sound chip. So when I saw the Sega Tunes, it was a no-brainer. I had to have it. And I remember popping it in my CD player on the drive home and being blown away. It was... They hired a jazz musician by the name of John Baker and probably a couple of other studio musicians. And they did a great job. It sounded just like it was supposed to be. It sounded just like the iconic jazz funk tune of Toe Jam and Earl. I think there's 6 tracks total, so not a very long album, but 6 very high quality jazz tunes. That's why I'm pinning Toe Jam and Earl 2 Panic on Funkatron, the Sega Tunes, in the comments section. I highly recommend you check it out, even if you've never played Toe Jam and Earl 2. I still have to recommend it. It is a outstandingly done I'm not even sure what you call it. There were only a few video games in the 16-bit era that warranted soundtracks, and Toe Jam and Earl 2 is certainly one of them. I'm glad they did it. It absolutely has to be heard to be believed. And I do remember being disappointed because I was so psyched. I thought, wow, if they did such a good job with Toe Jam and Earl 2 Panic on Funkatron, I absolutely have to hear the rest of them. Hopefully they're as good. Maybe even done by the same musicians. And I went back to Media Play. Every time I went back to Media Play after that, I always swung by the various artists, compilation section looking for more Sega Tunes. Never could find the rest of them. They were only there that one time. So on the one hand, I am glad that I picked up Toe Jam and Earl 2 Panic on Funkatron Sega Tunes while it was there, while I could find it. But I was disappointed that I couldn't find the others. Now, that being said, years later, with the advent of the internet and YouTube, everyone posting things forgotten on YouTube, I did actively seek out the other Sega Tunes on YouTube, did hear them, and boy, what a disappointment. I don't know what happened. Awesome, another extra life. But for whatever reason, the soundtrack... Here's a trick to maximize our points. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I think they hired different musicians to do the other Sega Tunes, and it didn't come out well. Comic Zone sounds like a garage band. It has lyrics, which is really bizarre. Not a fan of that. Vector Man, you would think it would just be some electronica, you know, an enhanced version of the Vector Man chiptunes, but nope. Vector Man, they went a little crazy with the electronica and it sounds terrible. Alright, there's a 1-up down here, and I'm not sure how to get it. I don't know how to get that 1-up, so forget about it. I think I have enough extra lives. I have 10. Plus a continue. I don't think I'm going to be needing any more 1-ups. But yeah, I was really disappointed years later when I come back. It's a combination of disappointment and relief. Disappointment that they did such a poor job with the rest of the Sega Tunes. Even Sonic the HedgeHog, how on earth did they get the Sonic the Hedgehog soundtrack so badly wrong on the Sega Tunes? You know, like I was looking forward to hearing... Oh, I thought I got that guy. Oh well. I was looking forward to hearing really good jazz renditions of like Starlight Zone and Spring Yard Zone. But somehow they screwed it up. It sounds terrible. I don't recommend listening to any of the other Sega Tunes, but I do recommend listening to John Baker's Toe Jam and Earl 2 Panic on Funkatron Sega Tunes. Those sound awesome. So, yeah, the relief comes in when I realize that I bought the only good one. So I absolutely cannot recommend enough Toe Jam and Earl 2 Panic on Funkatron. Just take 5 minutes, listen to the first one, it's awesome. And that brings me to the Media Play story. So, like I said, I got this CD at Media Play. Or I guess, let me just finish up with the Sega Tunes first. What they should have done, well, they could have done a better job at least with Sonic the Hedgehog, but they probably should have done Sega Tunes for other games. They should have done Echo the Dolphin, which has a killer soundtrack that I'll talk about in a minute. They also should have done Streets of Rage 2, one that everyone seems to love. And one for Revenge of Shinobi. That game has a fantastic soundtrack. A lot of retro gamers are very fond of the Chinatown remix. Or excuse me, the Chinatown theme. I can't remember the name of the Japanese musician who did the soundtrack for Revenge of Shinobi, but he did a great job. As far as Echo the Dolphin is concerned, so they did release... I mean, obviously, Echo the Dolphin is on Sega Genesis. It has a great soundtrack. Unfortunately, the sound chip in the Sega Genesis just doesn't do a good job of capturing it. Now, they've released Echo the Dolphin on Sega CD also. And if you've heard that, my goodness, that is an awesome soundtrack. Alright, we can play with a little bit more speed now that we're through the slow levels. This is the only part of Spring Yard Zone that slows you down, these vertical blocks here. I think they're in each part of the Spring Yard Zone. That guy always gets me. And I always miss that. Goodness. And we're not going to go out of our way for extra rings or power-ups or anything like that. But just listen to how good this music sounds. There's no levels in Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 that sound as good as this. Like I said, it's almost as though you can hear more instruments more clearly. I'd like to get my score over 200,000. It looks like I'll be able to get there. And just real quick before I go into the Media Play story, if anyone maybe can let me know if I'm overthinking this, but there's a couple of convenience stores where when they ring something up or when you pay for something, it sounds like the chime. It sounds identical to the chime it makes when Sonic picks up a ring. I don't know, maybe it's just sublimination or whatever. Sonic Pinball, Sonic Spinball. Okay, so the Media Play story. So like I said, I got the Toe Jam and Earl 2 Panic on Funkatron CD from Media Play. I grew up in Marietta, Georgia, East Cobb County, and right there in the heart of East Cobb County was Media Play. And if you've never heard of Media Play before, it used to be a really great retail store. It had computer software, magazines, books, DVDs, and VHS. They closed in 2004. Let's see, VHS, DVD. Also, what am I missing? Video games, tons of CDs, action figures, rock band t-shirts. Like, it was the perfect place to go if you were a teenager in the, late 90s. Get a little extra spending cash. I would mow lawns in the neighborhood, make like $60 a week, and I would go to, the local Media Play, buy a DVD and a a CD. I loved going to Media Play. It was great, and I was crushed when the word came that they were closing. It just came out of the blue in 2004. And I think what happened was they were owned by Musicland, the same company that owns or owned Sam Goody and Suncoast Video. And I'm not even sure if those are even around anymore. The other link that I pinned in the comment is from his channel's name is Larry the Editor, and he was a film student. I'm not sure what he's been up to since, but he was a film student in Atlanta, and he lived close to that Media Play, and when he heard they were going out of business, he decided to do a little bit of a student film project. So he went to that Media Play one of the last days they were open. Oh, what a shame. He went to that Media Play one of the last days they were open, and he interviewed customers and some of the employees, management. You got to interview some of the managers there and talk to them about what was going on. And I think it's pretty obvious what happened. Back in 2004, Musicland, they saw that, they took a look at their books and saw that they'd lost something like 10 or 20% or whatever worth of business to Amazon. And they knew that they would never recoup it. So they said, let's just cut our losses now. And again, the same way. They made the decision to close all the Media Plays across the country. I think they had something like 60 locations that were open. And when you listen to the customers, they're shocked. I'm not in that, by the way, but I'm I completely understand why they would be surprised. MediaPlay did, I thought they did great business. I would have assumed they did great business. I gave them plenty of my money over the years. We were just all very surprised. They had really great location. Right there in the heart of the very posh East Cobb County, Marietta, Georgia suburb. You know, location, location, location. Oh, thank goodness. He was starting to give me a fit. So I pinned Larry the editor's video about my MediaPlay closing. You know, it's just such a sad... It's called Foreclosure of a Dream. Excuse me, Foreclosure of a Dream. It's the Megadeth song. And he just did a great job of kind of capturing, you know, how surprised the employees were, how surprised the customers were, you know, and just kind of a changing retail landscape, you know, Amazon, eBay, new online companies just putting out brick and mortar retail stores that had, you know, yeah, they dominated, but in the end, I think they failed to innovate, and that's kind of what cost them. They invested so much in brick and mortar that they were very easy to take out when a company like Amazon comes out. And they're all about internet infrastructure. By the way, this is my favorite chip tune in Sonic the HedgeHog, the Labyrinth Zone. It sounds great. Listen to that bass, listen to that guitar. Like I said, in the first Sonic the Hedgehog, it just feels like, or maybe it just sounds like to me, that you can hear the instruments a little bit more distinctly, with more clarity than in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Like, think about Chemical Plant Zone, the underwater level in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It sounds very bland and boring compared to Labyrinth Zone. It would have been nice to hear a very good pop rendition of this song on the Sonic the Hedgehog Sega Tunes album, but I don't know what happened, but that's not what we got. And at this point, I'm not too concerned about picking up any extra rings or power-ups. I'm just trying to get through the level. Labyrinth Zone, like Marble Zone, you have to go slow. And then with Starlight Zone, we can speed it up again. So the second part of that media play story, you know, again, I recommend you check out Larry the Editor's video, Foreclosure of a Dream. But the second part of that story was, it's pretty funny. So the media play closed in 2004, broke my heart. I went to, eventually I left Georgia. I moved to Connecticut. I still live in Connecticut. And there's a mall not too far from where I live. It had an FYE for your entertainment. I'm not even sure if FYE is still around at this point anymore. But in 2012 or 2013, I used to love going to that FYE and getting DVDs. They were really cheap for some reason. Let's see, maybe I can pick up one more extra life. But I went to FYE, and I must have been on a romantic comedy kick, because I think I was buying like Serendipity and a couple of other cheesy romantic comedies. 4 Weddings and a Funeral. One day I went to FYE and I picked out You've Got Mail. Don't know why I bought that one. I think I was just curious if it's any good. Spoiler alert, it's not. You've Got Mail is comically bad. Ironically, what the hey, we'll try and get one more extra life. Ironically, talking about media play being shut down by Amazon, You've Got Mail, which is basically a giant commercial, or was a giant commercial for AOL Time Warner. And they obviously made the film because they figured, well, Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, they did great in Joe versus the Volcano. And then they absolutely slayed at the box office with Sleepless in Seattle. That movie made something like $250 million at the box office in 1994. Just ridiculous numbers for a romantic comedy. Huge hit, despite being a really terrible romantic comedy. So then You Got Mail comes out, and, it's awful. It's about Meg Ryan owns a mom-and-pop bookstore, and it's going out of business because of a local, Borders or Barnes & Noble type bookstore. Which is ironic because nowadays all the Barnes & Nobles and Borders, they're all out of business thanks to Amazon. So maybe they're due for a sequel. Pretty sure the movie bombed at the box office. Maybe it broke even or even made a little bit of money. But it was good, not by a long shot. How do I get up there? Is there a faster way up there? Okay, I think I know how to get up there. There we go. So I bought, this must have been 2012 or 2013. I bought You Got Mail used on DVD from FYE while I was on my romantic comedy kick. And when I opened the DVD case, it just took my breath away. But what should I find in there but a receipt from Media Play? Has the Media Play company logo printed all over the receipt. I hadn't seen a receipt from Media Play since, I don't know, 2004 or whatever. I mean, I was just stunned. I couldn't believe it. But, you know, the ink is a little faded. I still have it, by the way. But it says, you know, if you can get past the faded ink. Oh, whoops, off to a bad start. Probably not going to win this. Yeah. You don't actually have to beat Robotnik on this, you just have to survive. And I hate this, I don't have any rings. If you don't make it on the first try, you have to do it. You can do it with a shield, but the game won't give you any rings. Anyway, so yeah, on the receipt from Media Play, it says that on May 4th, 1999 in Taylor, Michigan, this Media Play was located in the, I assume it's a posh suburb in Taylor, Michigan. It's called the Taylor Center. Someone paid $19.99 plus tax for a copy. Ugh, the rising water killed my jump. For a brand new copy of You've Got Mail. So close. Ah! Alright, we'll get it this time. I hate this part. I think this is what used to stump me a bunch as a kid. I did struggle with this area of the game as a kid, and I think it's probably because of, you know, doing this boss fight, not having any rings, only having a shield. I know if I probably just slow down, take my time with the jumps, I should be fine. I think that first section you want to go a little on the fast side, and then let's slow down. So yeah, I still have that receipt for Media Play. It's like looking at a artifact. Okay, we made it. Alright, now we're at Starlight Zone where we can speed up the game a little bit. I think the reason why I hold on to this Media Play receipt is because maybe it belongs to Kate Beckinsale. Maybe it's like in Serendipity where I have to find the person that bought this DVD, May 4th, 1999, paid with a MasterCard. Of course, I'm joking. I'm married and, you know, I've already found my one true love, so no point in tracking down. It was probably, you know, I'm guessing because the receipt was still in the DVD package. Whomever bought it obviously gave it as a gift. So it was probably some, you know, guy or girl, you know, some parent buying it for their kid as like a birthday gift or something. I can't imagine why anyone would buy You've Got Mail brand new on DVD. It was not a good movie. And absolutely love the music for Starlight Zone. I think I like the music for Labyrinth Zone better, but Starlight Zone is nice too. And I love hitting that 10,000 spot, racking up points on that jump. And I do wonder, I mean, obviously, it doesn't keep me up at night or anything like that. It's just silly to think about. I wonder how did that copy of You've Got Mail get all the way from Taylor, Michigan, all the way to, you know, Hartford, Connecticut. How did that happen? And with the receipt still in it, I mean, it's just amazing. It means nobody opened that DVD in like, 15, 20 years? Probably 15 years. I think that says a lot about the quality of the film than it does about the journey of the DVD. Anyway, if you bought You've Got Mail on DVD in Taylor, Michigan, May 4th, 1999, I have your DVD. We're soulmates. I will find you. I'm of course kidding. Man, it took us no time at all to get through Starlight Zone. And this boss battle, much easier. I hate that I struggled on the boss battle in Labyrinth Zone. Even the boss battle at the end of Scrap Zone, you know, the final boss encounter, is pretty easy compared to Labyrinth Zone, where you have to avoid those hazards, try not to drown. I think one more ought to do it. There we go. Yeah, through Starlight Zone in no time at all. Oh good, and we're over 200,000 points. Alright, Scrap Brain Zone. This is when the difficulty really ramps up, so we're gonna do our best not to get destroyed by this part of the game. Missed the jump. Oh well. There's one part, I think it's in this zone, where it's very easy to lose lives. A lot of lives real quickly. So I'm gonna try... to avoid that section. Okay, I think, I'm coming up on it. I was trying to avoid it. Okay, I think I made it past the tough part. Rest of the level is pretty much a breeze. As long as I have one ring, I'm happy at this point of the game. Okay, and this level normally is pretty tough, but what we're going to do is we're going to take the high road, which is much more forgiving. Alright, so far we're not being... Oh, spoke too soon. I was gonna say we're not being troubled too much by Scrap Brain Zone. Now, the third part of Scrap Brain Zone is tough. It's a underwater section. And there's a spot, there's a stretch near the end of the underwater section, right before the encounter with Robotnik, where the final battle with Robotnik. Where you have to go quite a bit of distance between getting air Yeah, this level's pretty tough. Not sure if we're taking a easier path. That's one of the great things about the Sonic the HedgeHog games is, you know, with Mario, the Super Mario Brothers games, it's all about finding hidden secrets. With Sonic the Hedgehog, it's about finding new tracks to take to get through the levels. Come on, give me a big bubble. There it is. The game can be so stubborn sometimes, not wanting to give you that big bubble. You know, I was only able to hold on to one ring. The game can be frustrating that way. Or where the game doesn't want to give you that big bubble when you need it. There it is. We are coming up on the section where we have to go a long, long way without any oxygen. And that part concludes when it does, there's a part where it's really hard to keep your rings. It's right over here. I always lose my rings on this jump. So I'm gonna try and hold on to my ring, because it's right there. I knew it. Right there. It would be nice to fight Robotnik with some rings once. It's okay, the fight with Robotnik is not difficult. I may lose a life or two just because you can't take any hits whatsoever. You have to hit him, I think, 9 or 10 times. And right off the bat, he's fighting us like a coward. More often than not, choosing the piston that's out of reach. One or two more hits, so now is when we have to be a little bit more cautious with our jump. Almost 2 minutes into the fight, you lose a life here. It's really frustrating. And I know already some of you are wondering if and when I'll do Sonic the Hedgehog 2. No plans as of yet to do it. Honestly, I'm not that good at Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I'd have to play with it a little bit more before I felt proficient enough to do it. But I'm glad I got to do Sonic 1. Not the cleanest run. Lost a bunch of lives in Labyrinth Zone. So I'll just, for redundancy's sake, plug the links one more time. Check out the Sega Tunes Toe Jam and Roll 2 Pentagon Funkatron soundtrack. Absolutely spectacular. And also make sure you check out Larry the Editor's little student film on the media play in my neighborhood that closed. Both of those are in the pinned comment. This game not too tough. Doesn't take that long to master. I always felt that, well, the second Sonic the Hedgehog and the third as well, the second one and third one are a lot longer than this game and quite a bit tougher. I know there's no shortage of people out there who have mastered those games. I'm not one of them. I always thought it was cool that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was the first one to have a save battery. You know, Sonic 3 with the Knuckles lock-on expansion pack. You could play as Sonic, you could play as Tails, you could play as Knuckles the Echidna. And you could actually save your progress. It was cool. And we're going to be taunted at the end by Robotnik, because we only got one Chaos Emerald, which is fine. I've never actually gotten all the Chaos Emeralds as many times as I've played this game. But anyway, thanks for swinging by, checking us out. We'll be back again sooner or later, probably with F-Zero next time. So have a safe rest of your day.